Yes. Hello, ladies and gents. I know it has been quite a hot minute since I've last uploaded or done an actual video with a voiceover, but I feel like it's the new year. I'm gonna try and get back up on the upload schedule just for y'all to enjoy it. Unfortunately, I have months and months of videos that I have not uploaded, so that'll be coming all up in the near future when I finally get all those videos edited and compiled. But for now on, I'm just going to give you a recap from the past couple of weeks and days. Anyways, I hope you enjoy. On this day, I was railfanning with a couple of my friends that came up south from China Grove, and then another one that came from Winston-Salem. So this is the day that I hung out with them at Thomasville and railfan with them. Unfortunately, the moment I got here, I didn't have any time to pull out my camera to take photos of the train, but I did grab my phone out, and this is Norfolk Southern 165 coming up from Linwood Yard, hauling butt through Thomasville, North Carolina. And just like that, like the wind, it was gone. Our next train was NS-24X, daily intermodal from Atlanta, going up to Croxton, New Jersey. While the last of his train was clearing up, me and my friends did not realize how much of an underestimate did we say that the amount of hours that were going to be dead with no trains at all. We went for a solid 2 hours with no Amtraks, no trains at all. And finally, eventually, NS-119 was ordered out of Linwood, and just at the crack of golden hour fading away, it came through. Here's NS-119 racing up through Thomasville. It was about this time now that me and my friends started realizing that in typical North Carolina weather fashion, it was starting to get really, really cold really fast. So that meant if we wanted to catch at least one more train before we would all have to go home, we would have to bear through the cold to try and at least get one more golden hour shot of an Amtrak train, which unfortunately, it took over an hour for him to get here from the station. And it finally paid off because he had a P42 liter. Here's Amtrak 75. After this train, everybody would eventually start packing up and heading out, except for me. I ordered some food at the local restaurant, and me and my dad were also watching the football game. And we were just doing both of those, and eventually every time a train would come, I would go out there and just see it. And eventually, I've heard of a coal train earlier, NS-786, and eventually NS-786 got a signal and finally decided to come. So here's NS-786 coming through Thomasville at night. When the football game finished and me and my dad were done eating our food, we eventually decided to head out and go home. And while I was headed out to the car, I heard Amtrak 79's horn in the distance, and I told my dad, might as well just stay for a couple more minutes since he was right down the road at High Point. So we decided to stay, and here's Amtrak 79. And that would conclude our journey for this day. However, fast forward to the new year, I heard Conrail NS 8098 was leading Norfolk Southern Daily Intermodal 24X.
Wow.
So I darted out there to try and see it with a couple other of my friends. So that's what I did, and here's just some of the trains we saw while we were waiting for it to come through Jamestown and then chase into Greensboro. Upon arriving to the spot where I was going to see Conrail, I was then jump scared by a coal train and a 740 heading down south.
Good evening.
This caught me completely off guard, for I didn't even realize it was coming, giving me little or no time prepared to get this shot, so sorry for the bad quality. Eventually, after that coal train passed, me and my friends only knew that was now only a couple minutes of waiting before we'd see Conrail. But before we have another train, this is Norfolk Southern Manifest Train 13R, progressing down south. Dub. Eventually, as the rear of 13R passed us, we realized that when it went over the crossing, it made a strange, loud sound. Listen closely. Turns out that sound wasn't good at all. In fact, 13R went into emergency brake because it couldn't get down to a low enough speed beforehand. And if you look close enough down at the end of the grade crossing, you can see 13R's tail. Eventually, after a long time of waiting, NS24X with 8098 Conrail on point finally came through Jamestown. And he was crawling due to 13R being stopped on one track and to having a speed restriction around him. Here's NS24X with Conrail on point. Our next spot to go to was Pomona Yard, where Conrail would stop briefly to get its paperwork done to work the yard. Here I got some nice brief cinematics of 8098 sitting still. Eventually, 89D8 and 24X would back up into the yard to pick up and drop off more of its load toward Pomona Yard. After we saw this unit briefly through the glimpse of all the other rail cars, we would then head up to Elm Street to catch it leaving the yard, progressing up north to New Jersey. While we were waiting for NS-24X to finish its job working Pomona Yard, we would see Amtrak 75 progressing its way down south to Charlotte Station. Here's Amtrak 75 pulling down south through Elm. Eventually, NS-24X would get permission to leave Pomona, and here's NS-24X going north through Elm, heading up north to Crocs, New Jersey. With that would mark the end of the day. I just want to say thank you for sticking with me and keeping subscribed to my channel, even though I haven't uploaded those dead periods of time. And I will keep myself inspired to do this content more and release the content I have not uploaded yet for you guys. One thing I will say is that you will be getting a Berea, Ohio treks soon, very quickly. For I hope to have that done really fast, and I hope to have that out for you. That event took place in September, so I'm kind of a few months behind, but I just wanted to get this video out beforehand because I felt like this one was a really good one. Anyways, I'll see you guys soon. If you have anything to request or would like me to change about future content, just do that in the comments. Thank you guys for all your support. See you guys on the next one.